moment of relaxation for consultant plastic surgeon Paul Levick. In the next 24 hours, he'll suck fat from a grandmother, lift the face of a lecturer, and reinstate a mother's lost cleavage.
ER, isn't it? Eh? Get over!
It's dawn, and before Paul Levick leaves his Worcestershire home, he finds time to improve his golf swing with his friend and anaesthetist Magdi Goris.
Is this your new clubs? Yes.
One of our greatest pleasures is going and hitting a few balls at the golf range. It takes over your mind, it stops you fretting, and it's a bit of exercise, and it's our great love. We just love playing golf.
It's a passion he can well afford. Since leaving the health service 5 years ago, Paul Levick has become one of the most highly paid plastic surgeons in the country.
I enjoyed doing NHS work. It never did pay the bills, and one day in private practice is equivalent to a month's salary in the NHS.
Before the end of this day, he'll carry out more than half a dozen operations at a total cost to the patients of over £10,000.
I'm going into hospital to have a breast enlargement. Having breastfed twins, afterwards I was not the size and shape that I wanted to be.
He's going to take off my face and put it back on again.
I'm having liposuction on my tummy done. I've tried to lose it by exercise and by diet, and so I could lose weight from every other part of my body. It didn't go from my tummy.
But before the operations, there's a long list of consultations to deal with.
Hello. It's amazing.
I don't want very large breasts, and I'm not doing it for any other reason other than myself. I'm not going to be going to work in topless bars or something, but yes, you could say it is vanity.
Life is about what you look like, so you meet a lot of people who instantly make decisions about you.
There is a lot of vanity attached to it, certainly, and a lot of people spend vast amounts of money going on and on and on, having various parts of their body altered.
Everybody okay? You could say that it's interfering with nature to change somebody's nose, but is it interfering with nature to help a couple that are infertile? I think there's a danger with cosmetic surgery. I suppose we feel a little bit guilty about the amount of money that we earn, really, of not putting something back. And I suppose in some ways the charity work we do is helping to put something back.
The charity, on this occasion, is Bright Eyes, which helps young war victims like 3-year-old Ali from Beirut.
Well, he's a very bright little chap who has been burnt, and we believe he's burnt in the bombardments in Beirut when the war was on there. Boy, when he first arrived, he was shy, introverted and clinging, and he's changed completely.
The badly burned boy will have his scalp expanded and lifted. The hairline will then be repositioned to cover the scars.
Different size.
Within a few minutes, surgery will start. It's a worrying time for all the patients.
aware that a few years ago there was a tremendous scare about breast implants with regard to cancer. Since then, various studies have been done, especially in America, and there doesn't appear to be any scientific evidence to support the fact that it does increase the risk of cancer.
I've heard all sorts of things about people going into hospital for the day. You shouldn't really go in as a day patient. And having a local anaesthetic and actually not being numbed and being able to feel the operation going on and suffering an awful lot of pain.
This surgery is not like carving a piece of wood where you can hold it in front of you and say, that's it, that's the finished result, and it doesn't change anymore. The healing powers can sometimes mean that things don't heal up in the way that you expect. Complications obviously can occur. The surgeon may not have done enough or may have done too much, so it's not a precise science.
Got any jewellery on?
The cost of the operation is going to be in the region of £2,750, which I've saved up for a long time.
Okay, what we ask you to do is put your arms across your chest for us.
Do it all for you, past like been laid out. Oh no. We're just going to roll you towards us first.
I hope I shall end up with a flatter tummy, obviously, and flatter hips. I think it'll be better. I hope it'll be better. I should be able to wear different clothes. At the moment I wear rather baggy and loose clothes. It's a bit like being pregnant. And I think it'll just make life easy because I find it quite hard to bend down and do gardening and so on.
While Pat is wheeled off for her pre-med, Jenny is already in the anaesthetic room.
Hi, Jennifer is interesting because she's working with young people. I'm sure that's a big factor. And she's in a young people's world and feels that, although she feels young in herself, that her face is letting her down.
It's costing about £6,000. I hope it will be money well spent. I mean, I'm choosing to do this rather than have a holiday or a new car. I just hope that I'll look better.
Have a nice relax.
Younger, I suppose, but
And I'll see you later.
I just feel better. Just give me more confidence.
Okay. Always move the head very gently. Jennifer's quite young, but if it's an elderly lady, if you move the head too fast, they can get a pain in their neck afterwards. It's all the little things that are very important in this sort of surgery. Little tricks. That's why you're over here to see, really, to pick out the minor details, because they make all the difference, actually. Okay, so that's all for now. And we'll go through and scrub. In the corner there, trying to catch us out. Can you move over a little bit? Just on the arm. The scars are hidden. Most of them are hidden in the hairline or in natural creases in front of and behind the ear. And then we lift the skin off the cheek and then move it upwards, pulling it upwards and backwards to put it back where it used to be years ago.
Back on the ward, Ali is being prepared for his operation.
The patients that I see come from the whole spectrum of society, from the wealthiest to the poorest. We operate on lords of the realm and the captains of industry and whatever. Sometimes we operate on very much working class patients, and they're great, but the majority of patients are Middle England. They're the average ladies and average men that we all see every day of the week. Ollie.
Take those nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth if you can. It'll stop the sickness. Okay?
Sue. Rest your back. Susie's a lovely young lady who's very typical history of lost a lot of her breast tissue after feeding her twins, and she enjoyed what she had at the time, which has been taken away from her, and she's got a little bit more time and money to spend on herself now, so she's just getting her figure back.
Tell me what you do with this.
The operation is costing £3,900. There's lots of things that you could spend money on. I've chosen to spend money on this operation because I think it will make a big difference to me and I will feel better about myself.
Very, very few patients had breast augmentation last year and the year before, but they're picking up again now, word's getting around that they are safe, and so the patients are coming back, which is good. Okay. There's two groups of ladies who had breast augmentation. There's the very young girls that just weren't in the queue when they handed out the breast tissue, and they have been teased at school and all the rest of it, and well, they just want to be normal. But by far the largest group are the middle-aged or early middle-aged ladies who've had their children, lost their figure. Children are growing up a bit. They've got a bit more time and money for themselves. They just decide that they want to go back to being more buxom.
This is my other job, as it were. I'm actually a day off today. I'm on holiday for my other job in the National Health Service. Within the private sector you always work with consultants, you don't work with junior doctors. So it seems to go, they know what they're doing. I suppose it's a different class of patients that you work with as well. They're normally fit and healthy, but, you know, especially in plastic surgery, because they're coming in to have something done to enhance them. Whereas in National Health there's long waiting lists, no beds available, so the operations are cancelled, things like that, you know. It doesn't run as smoothly.
Paul Levick knows this all too well. He was once a leading light in burns and reconstructive surgery within the National Health Service. Hospital cuts and closures forced a career.
I chose to leave the NHS when the Birmingham Accident Hospital was shut, and the largest proportion of patients in the private sector are having cosmetic surgery. So now I suppose I'm specialised in cosmetic surgery. I miss the reconstructive work sometimes, but cosmetic surgery, it's not frivolous surgery, it's not vanity. People are being helped. There's a definite value to it. Some people wouldn't agree with that, but I'm afraid they're wrong, because we see the patients that are helped and say that we've improved the quality of their life. They're not helped in the same way as a heart surgeon is helping his patient, or a cancer surgeon or whatever, but they are being helped nevertheless. I think 50% of patients before the operation say, "Oh, don't make me too big, don't make me too big." But there are some girls that just want to be as large as they possibly can.
Susie has gone from a 36A to a 36C in less than an hour. Jenny has just regained consciousness.
Are you still feeling sick as well? A bit. I'm sure that's where. All right.
Well, Ali was in a fire and lost some of the hair on his head. The skin and the scar tissue doesn't look very good. So what we're doing is stretching the normal scalp next door to the scarred area with tissue expanders, and then we'll be able to move that hair-bearing skin down to replace the burnt skin.
Oops.
How much English is he learning? Very little. No and yes and something like that. Not very much.
The staff work hard to distract Ali and manage to administer his anaesthetic without him even noticing.
Night, night.
Ma salam.
Night, night. Boy.
Still comfortable then? Yeah? Okay.
How are you feeling, Susan?
Susan, if you need any painkillers, Dr. Gollis has written you up for some tablets. Would you like any at the moment? Would you like some painkillers? No. Okay.
This gives an indication what's meant by plastic surgery. The fact that we move things around, move tissues and skin around from one position to another. And plastic means malleable or movable. And people tend to think plastic surgery means access or visa, but it doesn't really.
I think it's amazing. I think it's great to see how much you can improve on nature, if you like. Especially this sort of surgery is very rewarding.
That's fitted in there quite nicely, so he's now got a more normal hairline. There'll be a few irregularities there in the scalp, but they won't show and will almost certainly all flatten out in time anyway, so that's okay. And I think we'll just put a drain in there, Jenny.
If there's anything we can get you, Susan, just ask us, okay? We're here to look after you, so just ask for anything that you need.
Okay, near me. Right, and let's walk.
We've got much on the back there. What's up there? This is the main bit. Okay. Pat's lovely, and again she's got this dieting resistant fat on her tummy. It's something she's always hated, and she just wants it straight. Your muscles are just shot to pieces here.
I've tried to do exercise, but it didn't make any difference.
No, I don't think it will. I mean, we could undo the whole lot and try and put it back, but that's pretty major stuff. So let's just flatten it out as much as we can, and we'll make a big improvement. Okay.
Yep.
All set?
Yep.
Any questions?
No.
Get on with it.
Get on with it.
Maggie.
So I'm back for dinner. Love it.
Hi, Pat. Sorry first. See you a bit later.
Last but not least.
You still got the energy.
How are you? Yeah. What have you been doing all this time?
Reading.
You should have gone to work today, you know.
I could have gone to the Cotswolds.
Yes, why not? Yeah.
Come back.
That's good.
Yeah.
But the time has
Botanical
passed.
Gardens.
It's 7 p.m. and Pat's liposuction is the last operation on the list.
Put that on gel mask. It's not what you'd call delicate plastic surgery, this, but the patients love it. I had liposuction myself many years ago. I had my chest flattened and it was really super. So here we go. What we do is pass a hollow metal tube through a little puncture in the skin, and the tube is either attached to a strong vacuum pump or to a syringe system, and then we just simply suck the fat out. So liposuction is quite strenuous for the surgeon. It's tough, so it's a good workout. It's good for building up the muscles for the golf swing and all that. But unfortunately, because it's heavy work, the poor old liposuction patients have to wait till the end of the operating list, because it wouldn't be possible to try and do a fine, delicate operation like a eyelid surgery straight after doing liposuction.
Pat's operation is over. It's been a very long day, and Paul Levick must now start his ward round.
You had a look in. Do you want to? Go on. Do you know there's a mirror on this? You see? Got to arrange the mirror so you can see. Ooh.
Not bad at all. You should have seen the other guy.
It like just feels so awful. It's like tight everywhere, you know. Like it's not really painful. It's just like someone's got something tight around your head.
But just 4 weeks later,
I just didn't look like myself, so I couldn't. I was fascinated by what, because when you look in the mirror and see a totally different image, it's just fascinating, really. You have to look at it all the time. We jokingly say I look like a 10-year-old geisha girl, as I had very small eyes, very slit eyes, and my face was swollen. I had so I looked very young. I think my eyes were really much better than they've ever been, because I've looked at photographs when I was small and they were always had eye bags, which I was detested. And when I told my sister, she said, "Oh, you wanted those done since you were about 11." So I think that you know, for the months when all the swelling and everything's gone, then they will be much better than they've ever been before.
They're not enormous. They're just a nice normal pair. They feel enormous to you because you're not used to them, but pretty soon you'll forget they're there. What about your nipple sensation? Can you feel your nipples?
Not that one.
Anything?
Don't think so. Ow! Yes. When I first looked down at my chest, I felt I looked enormous. I mean, apart from the fact I wasn't used to seeing bigger breasts than normal. They were obviously very swollen. They've settled down and obviously aren't as big as that now. It was a bit of a shock when I first saw them. It just feels absolutely natural and look natural. And I think I ended up the right size for my frame. I think they're wonderful. I feel tremendous. My clothes look much better. I do feel more confident. I'm really pleased I've had it done. I don't have any regrets about having it done. I just think everybody who has a mind to do it or might think they'd like to do it, I would encourage them to do it.
I actually woke up feeling better than I felt for months and months. It was really strange. The operations come up to my expectations, certainly. My aim was to be able to get into this dress again and to wear my size 14 trousers, because I was getting to be rather a tight 16. And now I can certainly get into them, and there's still quite a bit of going down to do.
For little Ali, there's been a real improvement in his quality of life. The innocent and badly scarred victim of war has been handed back his life and looks, alongside the ladies seeking lifts and tucks performed by Paul Levick.
We've got to help other people. We're in a society, and that society is held together by everybody doing better and helping other people. Vamos amigos.
But the man who's just made more in a day than he would in a month working for the NHS is not about to change his list of tummy tucks, breast enlargements and wrinkle removals.